what is going on YouTube is, rather than derping around the interweb and fapping to more explicit images of female human individuals' flesh. So here I am again, just like to resume reading and giving you guys my reviews about this book again. The Millionaire Fastlane, crack the code to wealth and live rich for a lifetime. In fact, I do actually plan to make several more cold calls today, though I perceive that I might just hit more setbacks and stumbling stones or stumbling blocks than the potential rewards and payoffs I might get. So hence, I suppose time runs quite short, and my lifespan begins to stretch thin, as we speak. And on the other hand, I also perceive quite a fat chance I might got myself exiled, or I might become homeless again, in case something happens to my grandma, considering her current mental state, because she most recently she gets quite agitated quite easily, and of course she just hates to get reasoned with. Even if I try to talk reason into her, she just keeps saying stop, keeps saying just stop, whatever you are talking about. And whenever things doesn't go her way, she tends to get agitated. Well, I know that pretty much everyone tends to get agitated and annoyed once things don't go our way, but so I beg your pardon for the interruption. Women just tend to have a lot more shitloads of crap to talk about than we men do, yes. But once we try to talk reason with women, then we can get we tend to get baffled, even frustrated, even more agitated. So perhaps, yes, silent treatment on most occasions works best for unreasonable female human individuals. But well, that's not the main topic for this video, and I certainly don't wish to waste. I certainly don't desire to waste any more of your guys' time. So without further ado, please allow me to read and review chapter 28 of the book, The Millionaire Fastlane, crack the code to wealth and live rich for a lifetime. So yes, Fastlane 28, or chapter 28, hit the red line. If things seem under control, you are just not going fast enough. By Mario Andretti. By Mario Andretti. Fastlane winners are forged at the red line. Winners are forged at the red line. What's the red line? The red line is pure, unadulterated commitment. Money trees, businesses, and systems aren't built overnight. It took Chuma years to construct his pyramid machine. commitment is monetary, water, sun, fertilizer, and cultivation. So yes, it reminds me of the biochemical process all plant life on planet Earth share in common, which is photosynthesis. I know commitment is a word likely to cause a riotous exodus. If you think Fastlane process is easy, stop now and go back to the slow lane, which isn't easy either. Nope, it isn't easy. Yes, life is just full of frustrations, disappointments, even moments of desperation. So you get so desperate you want to kill yourself, or the circumstance makes you so desperate, so on edge that you want to kill everyone you know, or everyone that has something to do with you, and then afterwards you kill yourself, definitely. So remember, get rich easy is a lure with a hook. The creation of a vibrant business is like raising a child from birth to adulthood. Like a parent has to commit to their children, you must commit to your system and your business. It is at the red line where the limits of a car are tested, and that is where your limits will be tested. So speaking of rising children, yes, I can also pretty much say that finding someone to build a business with, almost resembles a marriage, in terms of the degree of trouble and the amount of hassle you have to deal with. So it's quite hard. That's why, that's why we have to remain steadfast all the time. Well, not all the time, but almost all the time. Even certainly we can't remain fully armed. While we sleep. While our deep hibernation mode gets fully engaged. Since last night I had some other dreams that were quite disturbing, but yes, as usual, caught me. Well, I almost totally forgot what exactly happened during those dreams I had last night. But I can tell you with absolute certainty. Yes, again, the setting of such dream occurred at a quite bleak, quite gloomy setting, which was a highly dark setting, quite cloudy, without much sunlight. So well, I suppose it also has something to do with the environment, with the city I have been dwelling in for so long, which is situated at the outskirts of Peking, the capital city of China. You can imagine, the weather here, the climate here, tends to get, cloudy, especially during autumns and spring and winter. I have seen more sunny days, than foggy and cloudy days. Most frequently in summer here, but not so in winter or in spring or in autumn. Yeah. So, are you interested or committed? Too many people saunter through life coasting in first gear and then wonder, how did I get here? Who doesn't want to worry about money? Unfortunately, it doesn't take any effort to be interested in wealth and financial security. Interest is kindergarten. It isn't enough, and those who have interest live in first gear. To get out of first gear, you must make a concerted effort and a lineage of good choices to exploit the power of the Fastlane. There is a profound difference between interest and commitment, definitely. So there is a vast difference between plan and execution. That's why the author of this book emphasizes so much on taking actions rather than have a bunch of brilliant business ideas. Since the attempt to build yourself a self-sustaining, largely passive business entity that generates a significant amount of profit requires that you run the show like playing a chess instead of playing checkers. It's a multi-dimensional undertaking all the time. If you want to hit the red line, if you want to play big, if you want to make your business entity perpetuate in long-term growth and thriving, etc. So then we have interest reads a book, commitment applies the book 50 times. Interest wants to start a business, commitment files LLC paperwork. Well, yes, that's why. Yes, I suppose I did have taken an adequate amount of action when it comes to filing paperwork. Well, so far as I can tell, since I did file some paperwork, when I was prepaying to register the company, I was prepaying to incorporate the entity, as the business entity as a company, as an Australian company. Interest works on your business an hour a day, Monday through Friday. Commitment works on your business 7 days a week, whenever time permits. Interest leases an expensive car. Commitment rides a bike and puts the money into your system. Interest is looking rich. Commitment is planning to be rich. Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook, didn't build the most used social networking site by being interested. He was committed. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb by interest. He was committed. Interest is quitting after the third failure. Commitment is continuing after the 100th. Well, yep, it definitely counts as commitment, and although it also reminds me of another chapter, of another book that I read and I listened to, back in the days. Well, almost 3 years ago. It's called 10x rules or 10 times rules. Yes, written and narrated by Uncle Grant Cardone. And I so want to read it, and I so much want to read it and film a video, and give you guys my most honest reviews about such book as much as I can. Though I still feel quite concerned about the underlying copyright infringement issues there, since I had maybe once or twice copyright strike against my channel in the past for reading the book, The Magic of Thinking Big. Well, since it was a purely it was a pure narration and reading of such a book, which still holds the copyright until this day. So not like this particular filming session. After I read a certain paragraph or half a paragraph, I then pause and give you guys my thoughts and past experiences with YouTube content creation, my past and my ongoing entrepreneurial undertaking, blah blah blah. So probably that's why YouTube kind of tacitly permits me to upload and share content like this, aka MGTOW book club, pertaining to entrepreneurship, pertaining to how to change our lives, how to change the course of our lives for the better, towards a more positive shift, towards a more quality, more sublime manifestation, and or a higher level of quality of life, yeah. But let's resume. While I was building my company, my system, my surrogate, I was committed. I'd spend 12 hours a day for weeks perfecting and building my system. I'd forego nights drinking with friends. I lived in a cramped studio apartment. I'd eat cheap pasta for lunch and dinner. I was ready to wash dishes to work my plan, while my friends were more concerned with bragging rights for having the fastest car on a racing video game. I wanted financial freedom. I wanted a fast car in reality, not on a video game. My friends were committed to being winners in the fantasy world, while I was committed to being a winner in the real world. Fastlane winners are forged at the red line. Yep. Hit the red line, go all in, and try your utmost best to overcommit. I know it is hard, yes, and I certainly haven't started, some other tasks, some other projects, that my company's clients claimed to have, to want to wrap up ASAP, yet without forwarding the company a penny or a cent. Overall, and so far as I can tell, they just want people to work for them for free. And well, part of me does understand that nowadays, nowadays. Money just doesn't come so easy. Doesn't come so easily as it used to. And yes, it also makes me want to move my move my entire entrepreneurial undertaking. It makes me want to relocate the entire company to another country or a territory, such as such as British Virgin Islands, or even Costa Rica, in those southern, Latin American states. Well, I do have plans for that, though I haven't actually taken any actions to make it part of my reality. Time will tell whether I should do so or otherwise. Yeah, I just need some more time. And yes, sadly, time, free time has nowadays become a luxury, even for me. Even I don't work as an employee for someone else on a full-time basis. I still find myself extremely thirsting for more time. Not sure about how you guys are feeling about whether you feel that you have such an abundance of time, or a serious and severe shortage of time, when it comes to assessing and evaluating your life on an individual basis. But I give you my honest opinion about how I tend to manage my time. With all things, with all things considered, with all tasks and projects and some other nasty little shite I've committed myself to doing. In parallel, I do suppose I manage my time quite poorly, and that's why I'm still stranded here. Probably, just probably, I just can't know, with 100% absolute certainty, since I don't even know myself with 100% absolute certainty. Only God or my knows. Yeah. So yes, but yes. On the other hand, I do understand. I do feel. The author here. I do suppose that I feel. His loneliness. His feeling of isolation and marginalization by his peers. Since he said he'd forego nice drinking with friends and living in a cramped studio apartment. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't have that many friends either, so I do feel him. I suppose so. Long story short, in other words, I suppose I can say that I feel I can feel what it felt like to forego nice drinking and partying with friends, and in lieu of just in an attempt to build your own business, to build a system, to build a self-sustaining system for oneself. Yeah. So then we have yes, distance yourself from most people. How bad do you want it? How willing are you? Are you willing to sleep in your car for it? Are you willing to sleep in your car for it? Are you willing to live in a tiny apartment while your friends own houses? Are you willing to forego the new BMW in favor of a rust rust bucket with 150,000 miles? Are you willing to wait tables at Maloney's bar and grill when your friends have cushy 50k dollars per year jobs? How willing are you? Most people aren't willing, and it separates the winners from the losers. The idea of living in the rat race for 50 years has to be more painful than the idea of working your ass off to escape it. You can't have mediocre comfort now or meteoric comfort later. The Fastlane trades short-term comforts with the foreknowledge that long-term extraordinary comfort is to be gained. When it comes down to getting in the mud and getting dirty, most people will opt for the smooth sailing of first gear and avoid the discomfort of Redline. The Redline busts through roadblocks and hardens process, aka makes you more steadfast and more determined to hit the red line, to go all in and over commit. Yes. When Carnegie Mellon University professor Randy Posh, P-A-U-S-C-H. I'm not sure if I pronounced the name here correctly, but let's take it as Posh for the moment. Was diagnosed. Excuse me. Beg your pardon. Was diagnosed with terminal cancer. He blessed us with his last lecture. He said, "The brick walls are there for a reason. The brick walls are not there to keep us out. The brick walls are there to give us a chance to show how badly we want something. The brick walls are there to stop the people who don't want it badly enough. They are there to stop the other people." Profound and wise words, yeah? So, what else do we have? The last two words of the quote are other people. You want to be damn sure you aren't other people, because other people is synonymous with most people. Most people are consumers who are 2 paychecks from broke. Most people won't invest long hours into their business system, while friends are living it up on credit. Most people will allow friends and family to deflate their dreams with that won't work directives. Most people start excited and gush with exuberance, but give up at the first pothole or failure. Most people succumb to "I quit" and give up, not knowing that they are 1 or 2 plays away from the touchdown, the Fastlane exponential growth curve. Are we there yet? Wealth is a devious entity, and its elusiveness weeds out the weak. Your journey will follow a predictable path of excitement, questioning, commitment, and rebirth. Fastlane success requires an investment toll of time and effort. This is the toll that makes you special and keeps everyone else out. This redlined effort cannot be bypassed nor outsourced. Prime your expectations for work and sacrifice. Know your destination. Envision your dreams. Ready your means. And know that you are simply paying the toll because you don't want to trade 5 for 2 for life. If you don't do the hard work that Fastlane opportunity demands, someone else will. And if you aren't like everyone, you will discover something miraculous. You can live unlike everyone. Yes, I am currently living pretty much unlike the vast majority of the local population. Well, I do suppose if there, there might be some other people, especially people, a bunch of dudes, who tend to be considered, one of a kind, but yet still share some striking similarities with, another guy on the interweb, aka hiding in my room, Dan, Lord. And well, I'm sure many of you might have known that guy. Well, all things considered, since you are currently watching my video, I do consider it quite highly likely that YouTube might have recommended hiding in my room's vids to you as well, or vice versa. So yeah, so it's quite likely, yeah. And then we have get your foot off the brakes. The sweat of success is failure, and I am soaking wet. If you have taken a step, spin or aerobics class, you know the objectives. To sweat, to get your heart rate up, to build cardiovascular endurance, and to lose weight. If you went to a cardio class and the instructor forbade sweating, it would negate its purpose. Hard work naturally produces sweat, and sweat becomes evidence of your effort. Unfortunately, this ludicrous analogy is the paradox you face if you fear failure and refuse to release the brakes. The sweat of success is failure. While you can't build cardiovascular endurance without sweating, you can't experience success without failure. Failure is simply a natural response to success. If you avoid failure, you will also avoid success. Just like if you avoid if you avoid trying, you will avoid the chance of attaining your goal. Yes. You can't drive the road to wealth with the brakes engaged. You have to take risks. You have to get uncomfortable. You have to get out there and fail. So we mustn't stop drinking water, even if we do stand a fair chance that we get choked by water, since the probability we perish without drinking any water far outweighs the probability we die of choking by the water we drink. Yes. So it's common sense, right? It's common sense. So far, it's common sense. Let's read. You can't drive the road to wealth with the brakes engaged. You have to take risks. You have to get uncomfortable. You have to get out there and fail. What causes this fear of failure? Fear of failure is attributed to an overestimated worst-case consequence analysis. What is the absolute worst that could happen and the probability of it happening? You fail at business and have to go back to work. Big deal. When you resist societal headwinds, you will sweat. Take calculated risks. Do so and things happen. You meet new people. New opportunities arise. Feedback pours in. Lucky breaks converge into your life. The act of doing does marvelous things. Yes, the Fastlane is a risk. Failure is imminent. I learned how to code computers by trial and failure. I'd fail a code block hundreds of times before I found the right way to do something. My other failures ranged from moronic multi-level marketing programs to jewelry to direct marketing programs. Each time, I brushed it off, reanalyzed, learned, adjusted, and tried again. The brakes were disengaged, baby. So even if while I filmed this video, I am taking some risk with the very survival of my YouTube channel, since reading a copyrighted material could get my channel could get my entire channel and all its contents, its videos revoked and deleted by YouTube if I don't tread carefully. But on the other hand, I blended in, my own ideas and reviews and opinions about the very book I am reading to you in British posh accent, in my highly mutated British posh accent. So far it worked well, but I can't assert with absolute 100% absolute certainty that in the future YouTube might forbid such form of content or such type of content, but there's no harm. Well, there can be still harm of trying, even if I do so. But yes, you guys can also try this. Try the method I have been implementing here, and see how and see what happens afterwards to the content, to the video you post to your own YouTube channel. Just try it for once, maybe twice on maximum, since your channel will get revoked, get deleted by YouTube if you receive up to three strikes, and that includes either a copyright strike or a community guidelines strike, or at the same time, three times in total, which occurred in no less than 6 months or 3 months. I can't remember the exact time frame, but just tread carefully while you take the calculated risk, no matter what you do, including but not limited to get yourself fully engaged in, get yourself fully committed to your own entrepreneurial undertaking. Yes, building a YouTube channel, building yourself a Patreon page also kind of counts as part of your entrepreneurial and my entrepreneurial undertaking. Since I need a channel to broadcast the ongoing projects, especially pertaining to MGTOW contents, to MGTOW lifestyle, to MGTOW way of living, to a wide and a global audience, on a global scale. Yes. Well, for those who currently just don't feel like purchasing a subscription to my Patreon page, you can feel free to private message me your email address via Discord, so that I can send you an invite to all the ongoing MGTOW related projects I got myself involved in, and you can just have a glimpse or browse and see if those ongoing MGTOW related projects interest you, and if you don't like them, you can feel free to quit, by sending me another private message, or you can just write down a comment, below any of my vids on my YouTube channel, and saying that you would like to quit, then I can just exclude you by removing your email address from the project, from the master project folder that governs all other sub project folders. Yes. So as simple as that. No strings attached, except the email address you feel like forwarding me in order to join the ongoing MGTOW related projects that I broadcast on my YouTube channel and invite you to join. Yeah. So let's push forward with this Fastlane. Yeah, this chapter here. So Fastlane risks can have lifelong returns. Bill Gates is a one-hit wonder. He built one company and made billions. One company was all it took. Some might say I'm a one-hit wonder. Great. I'd rather be a one-hit wonder than a no-hit wonder. One hit is all it takes, and you could be set for life. You have a challenge. If you want to hit home runs, you've got to get up to the plate and swing. Home runs or singles can't be hit sitting on your butt in the dugout or sitting on the couch eating pretzels while killing grunts on Halo 3. Get up to the plate and start swinging. Start striking out. After enough swings and acclimating yourself to the velocity of your business, contact becomes easier. So I guess the author here meant to say acclimatizing yourself instead of acclimating, since it's kind of hard for me to say acclimating rather than acclimatizing yourself to the velocity of business, So oops, excuse me, just need to moisturize my throat again. So then we have take intelligent risks and skip the moronic ones. When it comes to risk analysis, there are two types of risk designated by best and worst case outcomes or consequences: intelligent risks and moronic risks. Flying to Las Vegas and gambling a month's salary at the craps table is a moronic risk. Driving a car on the freeway with 40 brakes is a moronic risk. When you take intelligent risks and avoid the moronic ones, you amplify your wealth trajectory through time. Intelligent risks have a limited downside, while their upside is unlimited. Moronic risks have a bottomless downside, and their upside is limited or short term. Most moronic risks fall into the asymptomatic category. They simply aren't clearly defined, and it takes a little diligence to spot them. When I'm out racing on the street of Phoenix in an 850 horsepower car, I'm engaged in a symptomatic moronic risk. My upside is a short-term burst of adrenaline and a temporary ego boost. The downside is crashing and killing myself or someone else. The upside is limited and short. The downside is unlimited and long. Yes, it seems so idiotic. Definitely, if you don't, there are, well, unless you have made some prior arrangements with the mayor of Las Vegas, or it's prestigious and or the stakeholders of of that spot or that such particular location, then it certainly counts as a moronic risk if you drive, if you go out racing on the street of Phoenix, in a 850 horsepower car. Here's another moronic risk, and it took me this chapter to uncover it. I'm writing this book on a cloud computing application. That means I'm writing to an external source or an external server. I have not made copies of my work. If the cloud server fails, my work is gone. Yes, moronic risks come in all sizes and flavors, and this makes me the idiot of the day. Excuse me while I go back up my work. Okay, I'm back. So this chapter is quite long, It has several pages, nearly 10 pages. So yeah, I'm not sure if I am taking a moronic risk here, since once the shit hit the fan, usually it can hit, it may hit more than just one fan. It can hit to a series of fans, or at the same time, one after another, So yeah, now let's talk about intelligent risks. When I invest $100,000 in an internet company, I'm engaging in an intelligent risk. When I sold my internet company, I reinvested part of the proceeds back into the company. I still own a minor percentage, and it is completely passive. Why did I invest $1,000 and expose myself to the risk? I assessed the acquiring company's probability of success to be high. So whenever I probably it's still due to my own lack of knowledge or incompetence when it comes to investing into some money into a company. Probably there are, I reckon, I perceive, that you can invest in a company, or in any particular types of business entities in a number of ways. Probably, most prestigiously, if you invest, you can invest in a business entity or a company by purchasing the entire ownership of such business entity. Before I filmed this video, I kind of thought about buying the entire company of which is a VPN service provider called Surfshark, and it's also the VPN. The main VPN service providers I have been using to circumvent the Great Firewall, so that I can access YouTube, Facebook, Google, blah blah blah, and get connected with you guys out there while I'm here in China behind the Great Firewall. Yeah. So yes, it's time for me to learn the ways, the ropes about how to invest into in a company, in a business entity. Other than purchasing the entire ownership of the company or any other business entity in general. Yeah. And then we have their goal was to take my small company and transform it into a $100 million company. If they succeed, my small $100,000 investment would then be worth $2 million. The downside, the company could fail and the liquidation value of my investment would lose about 50%. My downside is limited while the upside is substantial. This is an intelligent risk. If you quit your job to engage in a Fastlane business, it's an intelligent risk. Your upside could be millions. The downside, you might have to live below your standards. mop floors, flip burgers, eat rice and beans. Well, I have been eating rice and beans for some time, so probably I have been taking risks without me myself even knowing about it. all the way along, all day long, you know. And ride your bike to the grocery store. Is that really that bad? Not if you know your destination and your commitment to the roadmap. Yeah, that aka means if you know what you are doing, and you take risks that may or may not count as intelligent risks. Yeah. Again, it all comes down to what you are willing to do and not willing to do. Risk involve careful Risk involves careful stewardship of choice. Minimize moronic risk and take advantage of intelligent risk. As for failure, trust me, it is easier to live in regret of failure than in regret of never trying. Definitely. Yeah. You make a lot of sense here, my man. So I suppose I have talked enough in this video, since you know it's again nearing the limit, the length limit of this memory card, of this camera, you know, that it permits. So I have to say au revoir for this filming session. So thank you very much for watching and listening to this video. I will try my utmost best to push forward with reading and giving you guys my honest reviews about this particular book here. And once I finish reading and reviewing this book, I shall move to the to another book, you know, which already falls within the public domain, and it's called The Richest Man in Babylon. Yeah. Provided that I can get an authentic hard copy of such book from within China. So yeah, so thank you very much again for stopping by, and I hope to see you guys next time in my next videos on YouTube, if God's still willing. So take care, stay safe, and have faith. Hope to see you guys next time on YouTube, God the Almighty still willing. And au revoir, take care, until next time.